10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We are the first weekend removed from the first week of the layout drop.
I like how you did that. You saved that. I thought you were gonna fuck your words up.
Nope, we got it. Setting up was so much easier this time. We still need to get a field gridded down because that is just
that
like
it was pretty smooth. It took us about an hour.
this way. I always technically say if we have enough people out there, we technically don't need the grids.
Yeah.
If we just have two guys running the tape and two guys and like 4 to 6 guys staking and moving, we can run the whole field in under an hour to set it up from dead nothing to set up.
Yeah.
But can we get 10 people out there to set the field every single time?
No.
Like, no. So
it's a hard. Well, I mean, some of them want like pulling people away for 2 days is a hard push. You know what I mean? Like
and I'm fine with getting there early, super early on a Sunday.
Oh
and doing
yeah.
I have no problem with that. But some people are, afraid of getting out of bed
on
a Sunday.
I mean, some of them got there earlier than me and you. I mean, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there about 10 till. I was there about 15 till, and then I was in the car getting ready, getting all my shit together. Because Daniel was like, he was like, "What took you so long?" I was like, "They're sitting in the truck." I'm like, "Yeah, I had to put my pants on, get my cleats on." I was like, I geared up there so I could walk down here and be ready to go. Instead of he goes, "I thought you were waiting for us to finish," because I got there and they already had the field inflated. It was like,
Daniel was like, I'm gonna get there at 7 and start pumping the field up. So Ken he's always there pretty early. He's always ahead of the game. So I know him and Arthur were there. I think Arthur was actually one of the first ones there. He said he came down the road at 6:45. He said somebody in a new BMW, like an X4X5, was sitting down there by themselves, like laid back, reclining in the seat, probably getting a blowjob or something. And then when Arthur pulled up, the guy leaned forward and just took off and drove back down the road and then left.
Yeah.
He said it was like super sketchy.
That is super weird. My dad's driven back there before, but obviously what he does, so it's a little different. But he said he's seen like weird cars in and out of there.
Yeah.
You probably heard me type in. Baxter just sent me a message on Facebook. And his question is, what's the call outs, team bodies, and kill count? I'm assuming he means like
Kills
G1, G2, G3, and then like what do we call for ourselves, like 01, 02, 03. That's what I tried to explain.
Kill 1 through 5, and then we're down 1 through 5.
Yeah. But I'm sure that was loud texting. But so what are your thoughts of the layout, dog? I haven't pulled up on my other screen just for reference for myself, but
I think in the beginning we were talking about how we thought the snake was going to be looked super powerful, which it is very easy to get into.
Yeah.
But I feel like we were downplaying the Dorito side, not giving it as much credit as we should. And then at the end of the day, it seemed like the Dorito side was pushing pretty fast and getting right down and doing a lot of damage kind of early. Yeah. So now the snake, you can get in and get up in the front pretty quick, and nothing can really stop you, getting right down it.
There's nowhere. I couldn't find a reliable spot to shoot off break over that way. You know what I mean? That that had a decent percentage of getting a kill. Everything I found was like super small. I'm like, God, that window is like 3 inches. Like I am never gonna put a solid stream of paint. You know what I mean? Through such a small gap that far away. Like I shot it once or twice, and Frank said he goes, I saw the paint. He was like, but as soon as you gave it up, I'm like, yeah. I was like, I wasn't gonna shoot it long. And then Dorito side, you had the one big window where you can either shoot for like the 100 and you see the guy go into the corner, but if they see the paint there, they can just pull up and go to the corner. You know what I mean? They can get away from that lane. So no one, at least the teams that we were playing this weekend, first weekend, obviously, no one was really dying off the break. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like getting killed. They might have died early, getting to a spot and getting shot out of poker or something like that. But I don't think anybody really died in the fight, literally off the break. Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's in the center's odd to me. Like it's very open, but you can't see anything from there. Yeah, because that makes sense.
Bricks.
The
bricks and the wedges always block everything off. I don't know why we always want shit where nobody can shoot people off the break. I don't know why we have to do that. It's always weird. I like to have where you can always get at least 1 kill on the break if you were quick enough to get up, or 2 kills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
just odd to have the shots like that.
It's very weird. What do you think about our practice this weekend? Obviously, like we said, we set up the layout, so we played till about 2, I would say.
Yep, 2.
How do you feel about it? Like, do you think it was a good practice? It wasn't a full practice by any means, but I
Yeah,
feel
I
like the
mean,
people that were there learned.
yeah, definitely. We didn't break the field down as much as we typically do,
Yeah,
but with we had enough to run like 4 lines roughly. So
yeah.
I think it was really well for
What we
the
had.
amount of people we had out there. Yeah, 'cause we were definitely missing a couple guys from our line, but I think it went pretty smooth and there was a lot of points played.
Yeah, there
Um,
was a lot of games played. I don't know how
so
much paint I shot, but I shot a shit ton of paint.
yeah,
So you announced this last time early. It actually dropped. Our episode technically went live like 2 hours before the new TFX. What do you think about it? Like now that it's like out and in the open, and
I'm
like
trying to
some
get my
specs.
hands. I was just talking. I'm seeing a couple issues out of the controls right now.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't have my in charge on 100%, when it gets below like 75, it gets a little like what's the word? Like spotty,
Okay.
where it's not a consistent 10 the entire time with no problem. Like if I feel like the battery meter is wrong
Yeah.
to some extent.
Well, I mean, those batteries are old now. Like,
I mean, it's a rechargeable battery. It doesn't like die.
I
It
mean,
should last the
they.
life of the hopper. I mean,
Yeah, it should last the life of the hopper, but I mean, you've had it a year,
yeah,
slightly
we're
longer,
saying
but
like 50. Technically, for the outside guys buying them, they're $50. So you should
yeah.
have to replace a $50 battery every year.
No, you shouldn't. But that's what I mean. That's why I don't buy rechargeables. I go through like 2 sets of batteries a season.
Yeah.
Someone else would probably go through 3 if they played every tournament. Um, at least that's what I think. So it's big though. It can hold up to. It has an expansion.
Well, it
That
has
goes up
two.
to
Yeah, you can.
230.
Yeah, you can put
It's
it back down to normal
massive.
size. Yeah, but you can put it back to normal size, and it seems to be okay. I haven't seen a bunch on it yet. Nobody has one around here. I
Yeah,
think I'm gonna go ahead and get one in and just test it out. Pierce City had the demo and it had no problems,
that's good.
so I want to get one and use it here. Really, I would switch to Aspire 4 in an absolute heartbeat
Yeah,
if I could get my hands on a Lux Virtue board.
yeah.
If I could get a Virtue board, I would go right to Aspire 4. I go back, but I can't. They don't sell the board. They won't sell them separately.
There's
I thought
Aspire
about.
3.
I No. I wouldn't want Aspire 3.
Why
I
not?
would. I would rather buy an Ace, snatch the board out, stick my board in the Ace, sell the Ace, and use the Ace's board with a Spire 4.
Can you please do that?
I've definitely thought about doing that. Like, because the amount of people that would probably ever notice that I pulled a board out of that Ace is probably like slim to none.
It'd be real funny, like if then they call it Virtue, be like, this gun doesn't pair.
Yeah.
They get sent, and they'd be like, who the fuck did this?
Yeah.
Like,
I really just want to pull that board out. They should sell the board. I don't know why they're not selling the boards. Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
They made their living
Oh yeah,
on selling boards. Why are we not selling? They could sell a fuck ton of boards. I feel like.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first upgrade I ever did on a gun.
Yeah.
I had an Ion, obviously, so
Yeah,
I
you gotta have that
board,
video.
and I had
Gotta have
it
that video. The
right there.
on.
Ion, Virtue, Ion. Let's do it. I used to love those shits. But yeah, the only thing that's kind of crazy, it jumped up $50 in price, which I'm retail. So take that for what it is. But it also comes with speed feeds. That's kind of nice. I mean,
Yeah, which
but,
are typically $50.
yeah. So I mean, it's like they're basically giving it to you, but I don't know. They're
charging you.
I would rather see it separate. You know what I mean? Because in the mind
Yeah.
of a person, it goes, "Oh, I paid $200, and then next paycheck I can drop 50. You know what I mean? Something like that. That it's just
Yeah.
like makes it a little easier. But I mean, they look
Does it
very
have
similar.
rechargeable batteries?
I'm looking right now.
I feel like the original ones did.
Yes, rechargeable lithium-ion batteries that uses USB Type C.
Yeah, I thought the original TFX 1 and 2 actually had them from the factory. They actually started that whole thing.
system. The paddles now are soft on the inside,
Yes.
and those seem to be like the big changes. The expansion ring can make it go up to 230, so I don't know what it is without the expansion ring. USB-C
180?
charging, yeah, it's probably a good guess. Soft touch paddles, which is probably a good thing too. So this one uses eyes. Before it used a micro switch. I didn't know that. I thought they were all eye.
Yeah, passed by it and touched it,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, kind of like probably how that Pinocchio did, where it had that tab that stuck out,
Yep.
which would make sense. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. I always thought the Hopper looked good, but no one ever really had a lot of them around here, so they
Oh,
were
they're
kind of.
junk. They're all junk.
Were they that bad? I mean, I never
Oh, they're
used one.
terrible. TFX one were awful. The TFX two were a little bit better, but still terrible. And
Yeah.
the three apparently is supposed to be really good. I would just literally shoot a Aspire 4 for life. If
Yeah.
I mean, I've been running this control for almost 2 years. I feel like 2 seasons, two full seasons for
Two full
sure.
seasons. Yeah.
And I've never had an issue out of it. Just as of lately, over the past 2 months, my gun's been like hiccuping, and I thought it was my ice. I'm like, man, my eye's getting dirty. And then I noticed Dan's gun was doing it. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, then I shot the TM40 this weekend, and I put the hopper on there, and it was doing it. I'm like, okay, there is no way my ice and the TM40 are
Yeah.
both like freaking out. So I was kind of trying to figure that out. I'm like, all right, well, it's definitely hopper related. Then you seen what Dan did the last point of the day, didn't you?
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask, so I couldn't see because that whole.
So he
it
gave
was
me the
weird.
gun setup. Or no, I had a problem with my hopper
Uh-huh.
at an event, the MVPS. I said, give me, and he was like fucking gassed. And I'm like, give me your hopper. And he gave me his hopper, and I walked out there, and I was having problems with it. I'm like, fucking shit ass hopper, dude. And I walked off. I'm like, and he's had problems with his gun shooting slower than normal the entire time, like the last two events. And I'm like, it's your hopper. It's your hopper. It's your hopper. He's like, no, it's a gun. I'm like, it is your hopper. So finally, he's like, we had a problem at the MVPS, and I grabbed it, and I walked in. I'm like, fucking junk ass hopper. He's like, it's the paint. It's not the hopper. And the paint was getting soft. So I'm like, maybe it was the paint. But I've known he's had problems with this weekend. Finally, it happened to him. And he came off the field and he couldn't shoot. Gun wouldn't shoot. It was like hiccuping. He threw it right at a pole, then pole the net and smashed it in like a million pieces. I'm like, yeah, I told you it was a hopper.
That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, I caught it at the tail end because he was the last guy by himself, and I saw Kyle like go give him a gun.
Yeah.
Like while he was trying to survive. Like he was not in a good bunker to be in. At that point in time, but I was like, and I thought maybe it was one of us maybe overshooting him because I was ghosting over a bunker. Like I know the paint was close.
Yeah.
And then I saw like your wife was in front of me shooting crossfield, and I knew I had Shane and someone else over there, and I'm like, oh boy. I was like, we might have just overshot him. Like everyone's shooting at his bunker because then I saw him like stand up. Shane said game was over, and then like I saw them swap guns back, and then I saw his gun literally like, or I thought it was a full setup. Just go fucking flying. And I was like, oh, he threw the fuck out of something. I couldn't tell what it was.
Control right into a about 30 feet away into a pole.
That is funny. And then like we walked up there and I patted on the back. I was like, sorry for overshooting. He goes, no, fucking loader. I was like, oh, okay. Now I feel better. I was like, I thought you were mad at us.
Yeah.
That was funny. But yeah, I did
go
loader.
The TM40.
That was what I was getting ready to ask you. I thought it was cool shooting someone else's brand new gun. That's always fun. Yeah. I liked it. It's a little poppier than I thought, and it's not bad. And I actually like poppier guns. It's almost a little too poppy for me.
Yeah, that one doesn't shoot like the other two TM40s out there shoot way smoother than that one does. So I haven't gone to the bolt fitment on it, but like Kenton's is like really smooth.
Yeah.
And Daniel's is in between. You'll probably like Daniel's better.
Yeah.
Daniel's has a little bit of shot signature on it. It's a little bit smoother than the Force, but you could tell it's there.
Yeah.
Ken shoots almost like an ice, but she's really smooth. But it's what you call it. Chris's is a little poppy. Yeah. I'm not sure if it just needs to be broken in, which I'm sure it does. But they all said that the stock bolt fitment is like fucking wonky. Yeah. Now, we'll say when I got the gun, it was shooting like 190. So I took like 3 full revolutions on the reg to get it where it needs to be. But I can't check the operating pressure of the gun because my operating pressure tool doesn't work on the 40s and the adrenalines. That doesn't work.
It's probably because they increased that expansion back there, so they milled out just a little more.
The problem is if I knew like Ken's is shooting super smooth. Let me put it in there. Boop. And I look at the gun and he goes, oh, it's at 102 PSI. And then I stick it in the silver one and go, oh, this bitch is at 118. That's why it's kicking too high. But guess what? Boom. Don't have a tool because I don't have it out yet. Clowns. So, but that's definitely the problem. I can guarantee it. That's what happened to my adrenaline. Same way. I got it in and it was shooting like super low. I'm like, I'm like, I shouldn't have to turn these guns up like 3-4 turns. Like that shouldn't have to do that. You know, I know they're crawling them out of the box. You know, no, they don't do like Force does. Force gets it, sets it, and they shoot and they give you the chrono card, like exactly. And it is. If they give you a chrono card and it says 285, 287, and you pull that gun out and you shoot, it is plus or minus 4.
Yeah,
It's there.
it's
So
quite crazy.
if Phil won that shit, they know what they set the guns to.
Like I said, I mean, we've talked about the Force. I enjoy the gun. It is just too heavy. Like
Yeah.
it really, if it was a little lighter, I think it would give it a little more, like you say, like feedback.
Yep.
And I would like that gun a lot more than what I do. I don't hate the gun by any means. It's just heavy. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't feel it when I shoot. Like, it's one of the smoothest guns I've had, but I don't like super smooth guns, so it's like that kind of sucks. But I definitely liked it. I want
to shoot yours again. Like, I'll just bring that GO4 to the field, and you can shoot the GO4, and I'll shoot yours with my setup on it, and just see how well your feels now after about 60 or 70,000 shots on it. Just how many shots do you have on it?
I probably close to like 40 because I missed 2 events this year, so I don't have those shots. But still, it's a lot more than what yours. Yeah, I mean, it's a good shooting gun, dude. I chrono it very little now. Like it just stays right there. I'll chrono it every 2 weeks, and every time I'm like 285, 287, and I'm like, that's good. And then I chrono it at a tournament, I'm like 285, 287. I'm like, oh great,
they're pretty spot on.
This is nice. I would definitely you see this is why I hate playing with your gun, because it's obviously too small. But oh my god, I feel like I carry a boat anchor when I have that Force.
Yeah, like, god damn, this is how it's supposed to feel
every time. And like when I play with it, like it doesn't make me faster, but boy, do I fucking feel faster. I'm like, oh, I'm sliding over here, because when it came down to me and you, and you were making me run all around in fucking circles, you big piece of shit. I had that Lux at that point in time, and in my mind, when I slid last time I did it, I was like, I wouldn't have wanted to do that with that Force in my hand, because like I feel the weight here. So when I make like a move like laterally or something, I'm like, oh, and then like, oh, to the other way. And I'm like, what in the fuck? But I don't think I'm going to get a new gun this year. Maybe next year. I already got that. No, you already made me buy one gun this year. You're allowed one gun a season for me. And you got me the last 2 years ago, it was the Lux X. Then last year it was the Force. Then this year it was the Reflex.
The Reflex doesn't count because you're not going to play with that much. That's just a collector gun. That's a collector.
I might play with a lot. No, dude, I want to get one of these EMEX and those little valves they're putting in them.
Adrenaline Lux it is.
I want to get one of the
Adrenaline Lux it is, baby.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Why? You can put the fucking E-frame on it and let it rip. Put the back frame on there. Just fucking pull 20 a second out of it.
What do those retail for? Not 2K with the frame? Yeah, not doing it. That I'm out already.
I mean, it's worth it.
No, it's not worth it.
With a whole separate frame and everything, it is worth
much money. No, I mean, value-wise,
it's like buying a Twister.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. It'll be worth 2K in 5 years still. Yeah. So, but
look what this guy is selling the shockers for. They're still there's big guns, and they're still selling the shockers for. I actually
like the shockers. I never had a problem with mine. Mine shot great. But other than the fucking eye wires and those things,
junk. The whole gun's shit. I would never recommend that gun to anybody.
I have one other thing. It's kind of putting me and you on the spot. Your wife texted me, and I guess you guys watch Tim the Tap Man all the time at work.
Yeah.
Apparently, she wants to do a top 5 equipment list, but she wants us to do it in categories.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think we can cover every category.
You probably
we can do like 1 or 2, maybe, I guess.
We do like 3. We can do gear, like soft apparel.
Okay.
Like
are we gonna break that down like either further?
No, okay. Apparel, like probably companies with apparel.
Okay.
Then we can do like
because you can. There's a couple ways to do this.
Guns, obviously.
Yep, guns. I think loaders, obviously, and then I wouldn't do tanks, but you could do regs.
No. There's no 2 companies with regs.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I was thinking of all time because you could throw in like Gorilla Air.
No.
I mean, there's 3.
You can throw those in the trash. That's what you can throw those.
I liked my Gorilla Air. Mine was pretty good.
Yeah, it's myth reg junk ass. And now they weren't they myth? Wasn't that the Gorilla myth?
Regs. Yeah. No, I put it in the box. I used to have one.
The only thing it's worth is put it on a 45, so it's like super tiny.
See, and I had it on a 48, 45. 48, 45. So it was the booby tanks. It was super small, and then my arms got long, and I was like, I can't play with this anymore. Yeah. And then I put it on a 68, 45.
Gorilla myth. That thing was a piece of shit.
Mine was consistent. I actually had two different ones. I had the first gen, and then when they made their own tanks.
Check the output pressure of those tanks back then.
Well, hold on, let me rephrase this.
You guys even know what that was?
And at the time, I only ran high pressure everything, so it was fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I say fine. I was also running high pressure tank on a G6R.
Yeah, yikes.
And it was.
And they're low pressure. Only,
yes, they were like low pressure, and then they had the super low pressure. Yeah, that thing didn't ever work right, and I wonder why.
That's why.
When I sold that bitch, I knew it wasn't gonna work right, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a reg. I'll get a reg. Never got a reg, and I ended up trading it for like a GO2 at the time. And I kept thinking, I was like, that poor soul that got that gun. Like it shot, but I was like, there's no telling how long that gun is.
I only used the G6R one time, and it was Joey's, and I busted in like a million pieces.
Oh yeah, you did like 2 seconds. The
it's
fucking
like,
screen.
Like goddamn, I didn't even do anything. This thing just fucking broke on me.
Yeah.
Board broke, the trigger stuck. I'm like, what? I mean, what is going on? Yeah. And I'm like really good on gear. I'm like, this is. I think it's a piece of shit. He's like, man, it's one of my favorite guns. I'm like, well, it's a piece of shit.
He had the second gen. Also, I had the first gen, and the first gen didn't even have a purging ASA.
They were super smooth. They were super smooth for a pop-up gun. I will say that.
Yeah.
Junk. Fucking junk.
I liked the way they looked, and like how they had the 2-piece body, so it's really nice to clean.
So you want to rate this? And
yeah. Do you want to do?
We'll do guns first.
We'll do guns first. Okay.
Right, so go and do your top 5 gun manufacturers.
We're doing gun manufacturers, or are we going to do guns themselves? How do you want to do this? Like, do you want to do brands, or do you want to do actual guns?
I guess you can do guns. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So, my favorite gun of all. Are we going to do? Am I going to do like? Am I starting at 1 or am I starting at 5? Look, you see, this is how we're super professional, everybody here.
Yeah.
So 5 being the worst, 1 being the best.
Start at 5.
Okay. I would probably put a Lux OLED at 5. This is all time.
Okay.
At 4, I would probably put a Geo Plus. That's after they got rid of like the
plus.
The plus, yeah, it's after they worked out some of the problems.
The plus is better than like the 4.
You gotta realize you gotta do. I'm doing time frames in my head too here. Okay. So obviously, yeah, I could pick like the 5 most recent guns. They're probably gonna be the best.
Yeah, that's what it works.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking. I'm kind of doing like rough time frames.
You're just doing like your favorite 5 guns. That's
that's part of what this is, isn't it? Then I would probably say Lux X. Mine shot great. Mine shot better than everybody else's. So I mean, that's hard for me to do. Man, and then it would probably. That's just really tough. It probably would be an ICE or a GO4 for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't. You could flip flop those, but you could like I said, you could put any of those guns now are still good guns, except for the Geo Plus. That's now it's a little outdated, but for the time it was so I never had a problem with any of mine I ever had. Yeah, I would probably that would be my list. That would be my 5. So the Geo4 or the Lux Ice would be top gun. Currently, that is still around, I guess.
Okay. So I mean, I'm trying not to put as many as I could. So I do like a 5 and a 6 would probably both be like you could switch them back and forth. Would be probably like a 07 Ego.
Okay, yeah. See, I could have put an 07 Ego in mine too.
Yeah.
I very easily could.
Or that 06.5 SL66, my excessive, like you know what I mean? Or for 5, 6, like you can flip flop them, or 2K2 Timmy of some sort, whether it be like either Shock Tech, whether it be a GZ or a Shock Tech, something like that. I think that you can't kill them. Both those guns are fucking like AKs. They just don't die.
Yeah.
You can rain, snow, mud. You can't fucking kill them. And you can just rebuild them in like 5 seconds and put them back out there to beat the shit out of again. 4, probably gonna go with the autococker.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, whether obviously I'm biased with free flow, but whether it be a free flow or an Inception or a Shock Tech, these are all very SFLs. They're all very high end. But the autococker of some sort, just for the way it pioneered, and it's still around. Those Egos and Timmys, they're not around anymore. They might be some sort around because they use the LVs.
Yeah.
But people still use cockers. Like all the time. And they're now mech being as big as it is making a big full-time swing. It's coming back.
Yep.
So Cocker in general. Then for 3, I'm gonna go with the Geo platform.
Okay.
With the Geo
I should have done it how you did. I should have done like platform, like Lux platform, Geo platform.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a Geo platform of some sort, you know, because obviously every year it gets better and better and better.
Yeah.
2, the CS platform.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, obviously the CS 1 and 2 are completely different. But
yeah,
man, the CS2s, I personally don't like the gun. I know they're very good guns. I just don't like the shot of them and how they hold. They hold very weird to me. But a lot of guys use them, and they're kind of the same way. They had that like 07 ego face where you can just really beat the piss out of them, and they just keep ticking and keep going and going.
Yeah.
They're not as soft on pain as I would like from a gun.
Yeah.
But they're like the new age AKs.
I would agree. Yeah.
And then one I have to go with Lux.
Yeah.
Whether it be obviously they've the innovation. You know, they dropped the ball a little bit on the X. I felt like they missed a step on the X. Still don't think my personal favorite gun of all time would be, if I could make one, would be the OLED shot inside of the X, or I guess now a TM40 would be the same thing, but an OLED shot signature inside of a TM40 feature style gun. That would literally be the best gun ever fucking made. Give me the shot quality of an OLED and the
damn it, I didn't mute it.
The features, yeah, you're good, and the features of the X, like you can take off the frame in 2 seconds, the eyes come out, everything's wireless. It's like everything's great. Give me that, but with a crazy, smooth, quiet, buttery shot. Like it's insane. And I feel like, you know, 1 and 2, you could flip flop depending on who you are, right? Because this is a list that could be going back and forth. But the tech side and the warranty on both are Planet Eclipse and DL. They're hand in hand. They're very good. So, I guess for 2 we can go with apparel. How about companies that you feel, the top 5 companies that have been around making apparel, whether it be everything, you know, as a collective group. Yeah, everything they make as a collective group, where do you think they sit at now?
Okay. Give me a second here. Let me do some thinking. Just a tad bit. Okay. So number 5, I would probably put Exalt. They are my favorite arm pads. I think they're very good. I actually like their packs as well.
If somebody uses the word Exalt, I always feel like they're poor.
Really? Oh, I love the arm pads.
You're lazy. You could literally throw it up in the air and just put your hand through it and it goes on. Like that's one thing the Exalts have. They just like like an old Magnum XL condom that you'll never fit into. You can just throw it on and like, all right, cool, babe, I'm ready. You know? Something like that.
It's the same reason why I mean, you see the arm pads I wear. I wear Planet Eclipse arm pads from 07. I've had one pair and I've bought 2 other pair of arm pads since then, and they've both been Exalts. And I'm like, these are cool, but I'm just gonna go back to these old ones, even though they're basically the same.
Yeah.
But I actually liked their pants too. I had an old pair of pants of theirs back in the day.
I got so mad because they always copied the my original race pants I had.
Oh yeah.
Or ASEs. Yeah. They made the ones identical to them. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
And they did the same thing with the Smart Parts ones too.
That's what it's race.
Oh, that's what you call it. See, I always knew them as something else. There's a middle name for them. I'd have to find it on the forum. Started with C, maybe.
But it's the ones I remember. The ones I had, the tan ones.
Yeah, tan ones.
Yep.
I would probably. This is like a conglomerate. I put these 2 together because for a while they're basically the same thing. Empire and Valken. I really liked I'm going pants are something I wear a lot of.
Yeah.
So we all wear pants, but like I always changed pants because I like to try the different ones of each season. I always bought Empire and Valken pants all the time. That would probably be 4. I wore a lot of JT soft stuff when I first started too. Again, pants, the team pants. Some people don't like them. You don't like them. I know you don't. I liked them. then I would probably say under, just because now he makes so much stuff. Like he makes, not because he makes all our jerseys, he makes all our jerseys and they come out very good.
Yes.
He has fixed problems we've had with jerseys. I mean, you've ripped jerseys, get replacements, so that man. And I like dye pants as well. So I would actually put dye. I probably wore more dye soft goods than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would probably be where I'm at. That's a tough list.
Yeah.
I have an issue, like HK stuff's good now too. It used to be really not very good quality. You could really slip HK in there at like 5 or 4, and you know what I mean? That's a tough list to do. What do you? So what's your take?
JT at 5.
Okay.
I just I like JT, and I'm not sure if you consider this in there, but it's soft goods, so I consider like the quality, like how long can this thing last you? Right? None of that JT stuff lasts. Like those pants, if you really wear them, and you're diving and sliding, like imagine taking those pair of pants with like nitro.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Like even the ones I have now, like have no knee padding left in them. Like,
and you are sliding and diving on them every weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Now I always had good stuff at JT and no problems.
Yeah.
But do I feel like I can use them an entire season without busting them up? No.
Like, okay, that's fair.
I'm not going to include under in this because I'm biased. So I'm
that's
not
fair.
on the list. Yeah. 4, I would probably say Carbon.
Okay.
I feel like my only knock on Carbon is price.
Yeah.
They're Gucci. So like they charge you a lot for everything. But man, their shit is like nice. Like everything you get of Carbon. You know what? I'm gonna put Carbon at 3. I'm gonna move Carbon at 3.
That's fine.
Now I think about it, you gotta include their padded bottoms and padded tops with the pants. You know, they literally have everything. You know, so 4. Sorry, we'll move into 3. 4. I think I'm gonna go with. Ooh. What would you consider GI? Would they be like Draxus and GI?
Probably. Because I was confused like that too when I was kind of doing mine. Yeah, I would put. Yeah, like Draxus.
So I'm gonna put GI right there because they made really good pads. They had good jerseys. And I never wore these pants, but a lot of guys swore by those the glides.
Oh yeah.
They swear by those things. I never wore them, but I know they make decent packs too. So I'm gonna put them at 4. Carbon, everything Carbon makes at 3 because I love their pants, man. I got the 19s and the 20s, beautiful pants.
Yeah.
2, I'm gonna go. Dye.
Yeah, Dye makes very good soft goods. They're very underrated, in my opinion, because of their guns. Has given them the guns the past like 5 years has given people a bad taste. I guess
I'm gonna go them with 2. I always love the styles Dye has.
Yeah.
They make everything from like wild and loud to chill and laid back, like neutral colors, and they make a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And you might not agree with it. I'm gonna go to HK at 1 just for the variety of product they offer.
Yeah.
Now listen, a couple years ago they had a bad quality problem. You know, they look good, you wear them for a little bit, and they busted open on you.
Yeah.
But they were replacing the shit, like no questions asked. They're replacing it. Now they've. Some guys will knock them from ripping people's styles off, and they will steal your style. If you have something cool, they will rip your shit off and steal it. I will say that. But man, the variety of product they offer is just so vast.
Yeah.
And they're at every event. And then the big boys on the block now, they stand behind everything. It's like they make paint, they make everything. They make so much. I know we're only doing soft goods, but you kind of just gotta say. They make billions of headbands. They make shirts, and you see the shorts I have, the new HK shorts I have. Those are like nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now everything is pretty solid.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if you look at their joggers, they have nice joggers. All their pads, the HK crash pads, they're like really nice. So they make just so much. The last 2 years, 3 years, they've definitely stepped up, and that's where I'm kind of accelerating them above the rest. Last category we'll do. It's pretty easy. We'll do masks.
Do masks? Or do you want to think, or do you want to do load? Yeah, that was my other one.
Well, because there's not enough loaders. There's 3 companies that make loaders, really.
Okay. I mean, I was I again still keep thinking like
Virtue and Bunker King is the same company.
Okay, that's fair.
You can't do them, and then you have. I mean, who else are you gonna list? I mean, you can go.
I was gonna go back in time and say like I would have put Halo like as a whole group.
Yeah, but they're like.
I mean, it could be.
Velocity.
I got the different poster up. Yeah,
you know, Revy would be a 5. Velocity, but it's all view loader.
Yeah,
right? So,
that's fair.
So masks I think are a better genre because there's a lot more masks.
Yeah.
Your top 5 masks.
This is Profilers will be number 5. Okay. We've said this before. When you see someone wearing a pair of Profilers, you can just most of the time like, oh, that guy's played paintball for years. He's gonna be pretty solid. Number 4. And these I'm going to put kind of together. I'm going to say events and e-flexes, like in the same thing. Because to me, an e-flex is not a pro flex. Like me, it's a different. The bottom fits the same, but it's not the same mask. Number 3. Fuck, I had it in my head. Hold on. I'm going to cheat here for 2 seconds. I'm looking right at it, but I can't think of what it is. Fuck. Oh, the push. I would put the push mask at number 3. Number 2, I would put the ProFlex, just because it's been around forever. Like, you know what I mean? There's a million things you can do. I mean, it is – some people don't like them, and now everybody wears them. I've worn them pretty much since I started playing, with the exception of my number 1, which actually be I4s. I really like I4s. I think I even told you this yesterday when we played. That is my all-time favorite mask. It's too small for my head. I can open my mouth, and my bottom lip almost hangs out the bottom. But God, they breathe so good. Like they breathe as good as my ProFlexes, but they sit so much closer to my face. And then they beat the ProFlex with their biggest knock is their lens change system. So again, that's why they can't be number 1. Definitely I4s. That would be mine.
Yeah.
That was the easiest one for me.
Oh, I'm gonna go. And I wore a I4 for a while. Yeah. But I have to put it at 5. Only reason I didn't like the I5 jump because it was the same mask. It just had the ratchet click in the back.
Yeah.
So you took 5 years to make a mask, and it was the same exact mask.
Yeah, and they made it a little bigger. But I liked it because it was small. You know what I mean? That's why I wore an I4.
Yes, and I loved it. I can't knock anything else. Yeah. It was really good. I don't have enough time on the new SLRs to even rate them yet. I only have like 3 weeks on them. The KLRs fucking sucked. I don't use them because I had to, but the SLRs are a huge jump and night and day with them. So I won't. I'll leave them off the list for now. But they would be in the middle of that pack, that like 3, 4, something like that. 4, I would probably go with the E-Flex. 3, I'm going to go with V-Force. So whether it be Profilers or Grills.
Grills too, yeah.
Grills around. I wore both those masks.
I forget how old Grills actually are.
Yeah, they're very old.
They're probably 15 years old at this point, but
but both those, I like both those. 2, I'm gonna give it to ProFlex just because of the versatility and how much changing and swapping and moving around you can do with those damn masks. 1, I still think Push is.
Yeah, they're very good, man. They're just, it's that.
They're
the premium, carbon, man. Baby. I get it. I know.
Well, I always, I don't know why I always say they're carbon. Yeah. But I for some reason when I look at Push, I associate them with carbon.
I do too.
They're like Gucci. They're like, you know what I mean? They're like Gucci and Prada. They're on top of the list. And they're like, well, we know we have good stuff, so we're just gonna charge you out the ass. Like
you're gonna buy it.
Like we'll sell it. But we're not going to discount it for you.
The only thing I hated about Push, this isn't the masks. I've never had a problem with one of their masks. I've worn them a handful of times, never owned a pair. But God, their bag was such crap quality. Like I got one of their first ones.
Oh, you mean the soft stuff?
Yeah, that gear bag was garbage.
Yeah, it looked cool.
Yeah.
I never owned it, but it looked cool. They make 3 different sizes.
I bought the biggest one. And it wasn't as big as I thought it was gonna be. It was more like, to me, it was more like a medium-sized bag. I expected it to be like a large, like a Navigator. Yeah. It would have been smaller than a Navigator. Yeah.
like the goat.
Yeah, if we did gear bags, Navigator's number one. But yeah, they're soft goods to me. Don't do it, but that was a mass category, so or soft goods gear bags. I guess I don't know if those are soft goods. Some people would probably consider them soft goods, but it's different to me.
That's why Dye was up on top of this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've owned a Navigator 3 different times, and every time I'm like, I got to get the Navigator back. Like I get rid of it because I get rid of
my Navigator when Hunter was moved to Atlanta, so like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And I had it since 07. So keep that in mind. I had my Navigator from 07 to 19. And it fucking like 2 of the zippers finally busted, but it was still ticking and it was still working just fine.
So. My mom got me one like in 2009. It was like my first real gear bag. Yep. And then I sold it to one of the local kids just because I wanted something different, just a different bag. Yeah. And then I went back to that same Navigator. Like I traded gear bags around and I got that one back. And then I sold that one. And then I ended up getting Weston's, which he had used since then. And Jamie still currently has it. He doesn't use it anymore. It's just there. But I was like, that bag is still working. Like, the stories that thing could tell. Yeah. Would be fucking wild. But
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I'm sure there's other categories we could really break it down if we wanted. We get real.
Yeah, I had one more good one, but I think we're getting close on time. I don't know how we're looking on time.
Yeah, we're about there. I mean, we can really break it down. I'd be interested to see like barrel systems because that would be a good one. Yeah, we'll do that another time though.
Yep.
But anything you had, good sir?
No, we're gonna be going to Augusta next week. The D3 D4 line is going up there to Augusta to play with the 843.
Is that August 1st?
Yeah, that weekend. So whatever that weekend is, it should be the 1st, whatever that weekend is.
And then August 8th, everyone's coming to us.
Coming here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the 15th is the MVPS, or am I off the weekend?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Yep. So that's how that works. So we'll be in Augusta this weekend. Hopefully, people can come to us on the 8th.
No, all the a lot of the other D4 dudes and D5 and D6 guys will all still be here.
Yeah.
At Hoppers practicing the layout.
Yep.
So it's only our main line for the D3 X ball line for MVPS is traveling up. Everybody else will still be here. So, come on out and play. Everybody's going to be here playing. So.
Yep. Cool. Well, I'll take us out of here then, sir. Thanks for listening, watching, buying merch, not buying merch, doing all the things you do or don't do. I gave somebody at Hoppers actually asked for some stickers, and they were giving some stickers. I had 2 people ask me after I left. I'm like, how are you going to text me and ask me for stickers? If you want stickers, you got to give me in person. You can't text me when I'm halfway down the road.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for listening and watching, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out, guys.
Later.
Good shit.